somebody else being better at something will always be the case in every situation in perpetuity.
What's your viewpoint on providing free content with value when other people in the same area, like let's say play the same video game as me, are providing that same kind of content, but in more depth, or they're able to provide a little more value for free?
You can only do what you can do.
Just learn and dive in deeper.
Yeah, if like Booga's better at it than you, like what are you going to do about it? Like maybe he might be better at showing the skill set, but you might be more entertaining, or you might be more vulnerable and talk about shit, or you might talk about goatee culture in a way that he can't. You know, like this is about making it about you. Like there's probably nothing I talk about that there isn't somebody who talks about that specific thing, quote unquote, better. You will never be the best in the world in anything. So getting comfortable with that and still doing it, because you can still be the 17th best or the 17,000th best, but it's free. So, you know, like you're in a great spot. Honestly, dude, you're doing what everybody else does. Everybody else is just watching everybody else. Bro, when I tell you that I don't know anything that the agencies that compete with Vayner, the other business gurus, I know people are always like, oh, you know, Rick Thompson. I'm like, I don't know Rick Thompson. I mean, I've heard the name, of course. Yeah. But like, I don't know what anybody's fucking doing. Somebody else being better at something will always be the case in every situation in perpetuity.
What's your viewpoint on providing free content with value when other people in the same area, like let's say play the same video game as?
TikTok, do you follow me on Twitter? A lot of times I say, fuck what your mom thinks. It's not because I don't have compassion for the mother. It's because I'm trying to give freedom for the child so that the mother and the child, the father and the child can have a great relationship long term. The thing that I keep trying to tell children, especially from India and China and Russia, because there's so many similarities with, you know, different cultures, is your father loves you. What he's worried about is he in his soul thinks that the big business is safer and he wants to protect you. And he also probably thinks like, we've also made this investment in your education. Mm-hmm. So like it seems practical and right to him. Unfortunately for you and so many people in India, in Asia, in parts of Europe, unfortunately, so many of those people don't want to be engineers or doctors or lawyers. Mm-hmm. And it leads to incredible unhappiness. And I remind parents to look at other parents who are older, 20, 30 years ahead. And I go, look at them. That's your family. And that 43-year-old woman resents her parents and they don't have a good relationship. Mm-hmm. Here's what I would tell you. A couple things. Number one, this is why youth is so incredible. You can go work for your aunt, spend 8 years on it. And at the end of the day, God forbid, it's a quote unquote failure. It's not a failure because you're going to learn so much more in a small entrepreneurial business than you'll ever learn in a big corporation. So much more. Number two, it's not a failure because you're going to be uncomfortably young. And you will have your degree and you'll have your own street smarts and your conviction. And you can always get a job at a big company. Big companies are always interested in hiring because they make profit by having more people if they know how to run their business. So if I and your dad became friendly and we were having tea, which Russians and Indians love to have, and we were talking, I would say to him, Father, interestingly enough, I would argue that it's more practical for her to go into the startup with the aunt than it is for her to go into a big company. That big companies are in full control. And that can lead to her getting let go during the coronavirus versus navigating. Plus, let's look at her face. She clearly has the passion and conviction to give it a try. I actually think that I believe in that. I believe in that truth.
Yeah, he's listening right now, so he can hear everything you say.
Good. And Father, for like, you can't imagine how much respect, I'm the byproduct of immigrant parents, hardworking parents, loving parents. I have so much empathy and compassion for parents. A lot of times I say, fuck what your mom thinks. It's not because I don't have compassion for the mother. It's because I'm trying to give freedom for the child so that the mother and the child, the father and the child can have a great relationship long term. I watch so many parents do to their children what their parents did to them, and they should know better because they know they didn't like it when their parents did it. And money is not happiness. Happiness is happiness. And we do not need things. We do not need a lot of things. Small homes and food is more than enough. And so always chase happiness, especially in the youth, because it's practical to get a job at 28, 29, because many corporations, the way the world's going, are going to actually look at people that did entrepreneurship and SMB for their corporation. A company that your father would want you to go into now in 9 years, if it fails, is more likely to hire you, not because you went to a competitor for 9 years on your resume, but because you were entrepreneurial, because the internet is forcing entrepreneurship to be a more important variable within corporations. A lot of times I say, fuck what your mom thinks. It's not because I don't have compassion for the mother. It's because I'm trying to give freedom for the child so that the mother and the child, the father and the child can have a great relationship long term. The thing that I keep trying